Today we're going to look at the Google Pixel 5 and ask the big questions like, should you buy this phone in 2024? Was this the last true Pixel? Are small phones dead, or do people still want them? If you want the answers to those questions, then you're in the right place. And if you're looking for a Google Pixel channel to subscribe to, then why not choose this one? We're on the road to 1,000 Pixel pals, so join us for the ride. The most surprising thing when the Pixel 5 was announced was that it wasn't a flagship. I was expecting a flagship, a top-end phone, but in reality this was an upper mid-range phone and priced to match. A couple of months before this phone we had the Google Pixel 4a and the design was kinda lackluster, to say the least. Google went really hard into what people actually wanted and it looks like they held back on the design. Whoa, you're spending too much time on the design, go back to work on the cameras and the software. We talked about this. The 4a, it was a hit. Tech reviewers had a new appreciation for what a mid-range phone could be. And with the Pixel 5 we have that same formula, but more refined. We did get an extra colour alongside the black model. Sage, the one which anybody who wanted a little bit of joy in their life picked. Although this phone might look plastic, it does have a nice soft touch texture to it. It's actually a metal and glass build with a nice coating over the back. Why would they do that, you might ask? Well, say hello to wireless charging on a phone that doesn't have a glass back. Now, as long as you didn't pick the boring colour, I actually like this design. You have the volume rocker and shiny power button down one side, and the SIM tray on the other. We all love an accented power button. Along the bottom we have a USB-C port and two bottom firing speakers. These are actually stereo speakers paired with the earpiece speaker that Google put under the screen on this model. It wasn't a good speaker, but at least they tried it. They brought back the fingerprint scanner on the back for one last glorious year. Those were simpler times. When you flip this phone over you have a 6-inch 90Hz OLED panel with a selfie camera pushed right into the top corner. This form factor just speaks to me. I know it's not for everyone, but more smaller phones, please. The selfie camera is an 8 megapixel wide lens, and when it comes to shooting video you can shoot 1080p 30 frames a second. I do like this corner hole punch because when you're watching something on your phone it kind of just tucks itself away in the bottom corner. I wonder if they'll ever go back to that, that would be nice. Now the back camera. Look how nice that looks. The black camera module against the green. The green's definitely the right choice if you're thinking of picking up this phone. Anyway, this is a dual camera setup with a 12 megapixel wide camera and a 16 megapixel ultra wide. The bonus with the back camera is that you get 60 frames per second at 4K. Now up to this point you might be thinking, that doesn't seem terribly mid-tier. But that's where Google's chip choice comes into play. The Snapdragon 765G, a mid-tier chip. And on hearing Google weren't using a top-of-the-line Snapdragon chipset, I was naturally a little bit nervous. But for me, at the time, that was actually fine. I didn't game then on my phone as much as I do now, so that would be my only caution. If you're a hardcore mobile phone gamer today, then you probably need something with a bit more under the bonnet than this has. But if you're the everyday person that just needs a great camera and a pretty snappy phone, even today, then this could be the right phone for you. After the Google Pixel 5 we know that Google went on to making its own chipset, the Google Tensor chip, which actually seems to have settled into this area of just under flagship level chips. But it does allow Google to offer longer support and all that AI goodness. Now something that I hear a lot is that the Google Pixel 5 was the last true Pixel or peak Pixel. And yeah, the Pixel has changed a lot. We lost a lot of features that made us fall in love with the Google Pixel in the first place. The fingerprint scanner on the back disappeared for good with the Pixel 6 line. The squeeze for assist feature, it's now long gone. The top of the line Snapdragon chipset ended even before this phone. Some of the playfulness started to seem like it was getting toned down as well. But do I think this is the last true Pixel? No. I love that Google's still making Pixels and they're starting to add the playfulness and the softness back in. I love that Google's making its own chips and still finding its feet design wise. The Google Pixel is changing, but I think the best is still yet to come. The Pixel 5 is a special phone and I don't think we'll see another phone like this. And that leads me to the question, are small phones dead now? The smallest Pixel you can get right now is a 7a with a 6.1 inch display. The smallest flagship is 6.2 inches. The Zenfone 11 is now a huge phone with no sign of a smaller model being made, at least not yet. I've always been a big fan of small phones, but I think the only way we see another small Pixel is probably with like a Pixel Flip style thing. Is there going to be a Pixel Flip? Probably not anytime soon. So back to the main reason that I made this video. Sorry, no more tangents today folks. Should you buy this, the Google Pixel 5 in 2024? This phone gets no more Android updates. Android 14 is as high as it gets. It also gets no more security updates as well. It does make it hard to recommend this phone, but when you think about what the other options are that is still offering security updates, they are much more expensive than what you can get this phone for, and they're not even offering them for that much longer. Yes, Asus, we're looking at you, although you did extend the security updates a little bit further. If you pick up this phone, I have no doubt that you're going to love it. You just need to be aware that there's no more updates for you. Maybe check out the Pixel 6 that I did a video on recently, see if that takes your fancy. I'll see you over there.